There she is. Jeanne Brasile is the director of Walsh Gallery at Seton Hall University. Good to see you, Jeanne.
Good to see you.
How would you describe this Walsh Gallery, which is in the Walsh Library over at the great Seton Hall University?
It is. It's an interdisciplinary gallery, and we try to tap into the different curriculum on campus to provide multiple vantage points about art and material culture.
Where does the art come from? Is it students?
It comes from all over the place. We've recently had loans from the Sag Harbor Whaling Museum on Long Island. We had loans from the Museum of Early Trades and Crafts in Madison, and we also show a lot of our own collections in the gallery, but we do work with local artists. And
also from Newark. I mean, we're here at the Newark Museum. There's some Newark artists, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We just showed a series of Newark artists in the last show, and I endeavor to do that on a regular basis because we have the university has a special relationship with Newark.
Describe that.
Part of our campus is in Newark, and then we have the law school there. Right. But there's a lot of synergies between Newark and South Orange and the campus at Seton Hall. Yes, a lot of history. And there's a wonderful arts community in Newark, and we want to tap into that, and we want to be part of it. We want to support the cultural and economic growth in Newark.
So let's talk about some of the examples of that. You connect with different arts organizations. Mm-hmm. Such as, give me an example of an arts organization.
Okay, well, upcoming this June, I'm going to be co-curating a show at Index Art Center, which is right down the street.
Index Art Center.
Yeah, it's a local artist-run gallery. It's a nonprofit, and they have a really robust schedule of events, mostly exhibits, but they also do musical performances, dance events, film screenings, and I've had a relationship with this gallery since 2005. And we work together on a number of things with Seton Hall University collaborating directly with Index Art Center.
So you want to bring that art to the larger community at Seton Hall. So is it the community that is exposed to it? Are they Seton Hall students and faculty?
Yes, but we have a much broader audience than that. We recently had people visit from Michigan. We had people come from Seagirt, New Jersey. We really have a broad visitor base from primarily New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. So it's not just students and faculty.
Talk about your interest in the arts. Where did it come from?
That's a good question. I told my mom she used to always bring me to museums and cultural events as a young kid. And although she didn't bring me to a lot of art museums, I think that really rubbed off on me at this appreciation of culture.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Rockland County, New York. Not the bastion.
I was just going to say,
not a hotbed of culture.
If you had grown up, somewhere on the west side of Manhattan, or in East Village, or I don't know where, but Rockland County, and the art bug hit you when?
I was always, from the first I can remember, I was always drawing and writing, and my mother and father supported that. I took a lot of art lessons. But my parents are from Brooklyn, and my mom would make it a point of bringing us to Manhattan on a regular basis to see museums and cultural events. And so I formed a love of culture, and even though I was a country kid, I had a lot of city experiences.
That's interesting. It's always fascinating how people get exposed to the arts and get turned on to it and have these careers. So talk a little bit about the fact that the Seton Hall community has come together on behalf of this, because in many ways, for you to do what you do at Seton Hall, you need to be tied to the Newark community. Who else is involved up at Seton Hall in this?
In terms of the collaboration?
Yeah, sure.
I think all of the departments on campus, it's part of the broader vision and mission of the university. So, we're all doing our own thing with our own contacts in our different fields.
But don't you have an exhibit coming up with Seton Hall students?
Yeah, we're actually, so we do an annual art show featuring the artwork of Seton Hall University undergraduate students, and it's a juried exhibition. So
tell folks what that means. You can use the term juried exhibition, and everyone knows what that means.
What it means is that we have professionals from the art field who are looking at the work, and they're pulling the best examples of what's presented to them to be in the show. So it's really an honor. It's kind of a screened process.
Are they sold?
Some of the works are available for sale. It depends on whether the student wants to sell it or not. But we've made quite a few connections and sold quite a few pieces of art over the years.
So the students at Seton Hall who are into the fine arts, mm-hmm. how do they interact with you and the folks at the gallery?
Well, we host the student show. Very often they wind up volunteering or interning or getting work-study positions in the gallery. Sometimes they host events in the gallery or lead programs. So there's all different ways that students could get implicated in the gallery activities.
I'm curious about this. We've talked to a lot of artists about the business side of the arts. And we've talked to musicians about this at the other series that we've been doing out of NJPAC, and it always strikes me that that's a challenge for artists, the business side of things. It's challenging, no? It's
very challenging because if you think about why an artist wants to be an artist, it's very often because they want that kind of freedom of not going to a 9-to-5 job. They're creative people. They're not necessarily linear thinkers. But you do need to keep track of the business in terms of networking opportunities, writing grants, writing proposals to get into exhibitions, just even managing money because you're an independent contractor. So it's actually not so easy to be an artist. It seems like, a carefree lifestyle, but there's a lot of demands in addition to making art, all of the things that go on behind the scenes to maintain your career.
So people say things like, I want to become an artist because I don't want to be involved in business, you say?
You picked the wrong business. You're basically your own manager, your own accountant, your own public relations and marketing person.
It's interesting. You can't do the art of public broadcasting if you don't understand the business. You can't be in art if you don't understand the business. And
Absolutely.
So you've helped a lot of people. Listen, wish you and your colleagues up at Seton Hall nothing but the best at the Walsh Gallery. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. And by the Newark Museum, in cooperation with NJTV and 13 for WNET. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at Newark Museum has been provided by Bank of America, PSE&G, Cone Resnick, University Hospital, Newark, New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, and by the North Ward Center. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.